you very much for invitation here, and it's really my great pleasure to introduce the Mathematics and Statistics Support Center, which we established last year within a framework of Norwegian grants. And it was a part of a project with our partners from University of Agder in Norway. But it was not the grant itself which allowed us to establish our support center. It was also the idea, and the idea came to us through another project with Norway partners within this framework of Norwegian grant. So this is really a nice example of dissemination, because through one grant I got the inspiration, and through another grant I had the opportunity to establish and to start process running the support center we have in Czech Republic at the university, Masaryk University in Brno. It's the first support center in the Czech Republic, and I am proud to introduce here how does it operate. Now it's the third semester. And one more thing I would like to point out, this idea came to Brno through Agder University in Norway, but they were inspired by British partners or British collaborators who started to run support centers almost 20 years ago. And they inspired other countries in Europe, including Norway, and Norway inspired us. So it's a really nice example how good ideas are spread around Europe through projects like these EEA grants. So first I will introduce the idea of support centers in general, and then I will show you a few examples how does it operate in Czech Republic and what's the, let's say, our plans for future, and maybe we may spread inspiration to your other countries and your university, because I love this idea. So the support center, the reasons why we need support center not only in Czech Republic or Norway, but as I had the opportunity to observe in many countries across the Europe, we all struggle with math level and attitude of students to math, except those who decided to study mathematics. But I am teaching at Faculty of Economics. I'm from Department of Applied Mathematics and Computer Science. So we are teaching math to students who are not willing to become mathematicians, they are economists. But when they enter the university, their level is lower than we expect, and this trend is observable in other countries, not only in Czech Republic, that the level of secondary and primary school education in mathematics is getting worse. But we are living in the 21st century where the technologies are changing our life, and the way of thinking needed in mathematics, logical thinking, critical thinking, and all those skills associated with mathematics are higher as it was. So the gap between the level of secondary student graduates entering the university is bigger, because the level at secondary school is decreasing, and the technology and university education needed higher level of not only understanding but of creative thinking. So this gap, I don't have laser pointer, this gap is clear, for instance, from the graph here, because here we have PISA results in mathematics. On x-axis there are absolute scores, which is not so much interesting. Here is the Czech Republic. What's more interesting is the y-axis, where there is a drop between years 2003 and 2012. And the drop is significant, I mean statistically significant. So we really observe significant drop of knowledge in mathematics at the level of primary and secondary school. But we at university, we can't adjust the level of students. We can't influence directly a way of teaching mathematics at secondary and primary school. We accept the students to university, and we should cope to fix the problem, what to do with this gap. So this is one reason why we need to help students to enter the university and to help them to improve their math skills and understanding. And the second reason is, as I mentioned, we are living in 21st century. The world is really changing. We need critical thinking, and also job market is changing, as is visible from the graphs from the graph on the next page. So as you can see here, there are some expected increase in job opportunities related to data science, understanding numbers, figures, data in general. So really it's impressive. And there is really, I observe in Europe, real problem that not only the skills are less than it used to be in mathematics, but especially the attitude to mathematics. Our students in general, if not hate, so they don't like mathematics. what are the reasons? I have few theories, but as a university teacher, I can't change primary and secondary education system to make mathematics more interesting for students, and especially what I observe as a huge problem, the students don't trust their abilities. They think that mathematics is just for genius, not for them. And I think that's a crucial point. So for these two reasons, we decided to get inspiration from our Norwegian partners and to set our support center in Brno, which was in February last year, within the project of Norwegian grants. And I have here a few figures. This is the first semester of our operation. So as you can see, we had, it's not approximately, it's exactly 300 visits, which means that within, let's say, 5 months or 4 months, after launching this project, really it became popular because 300 visits I consider like an interesting number. The unique visits was small. I mean, unique visitors, the number is 146, which means that some of those students come repeatedly. The next semester, which was the winter semester, last autumn, the number of total visits is approximately the same, almost 300. Unique visitors, again, almost the same number. So I have a nice example related to this, especially to those students who come repeatedly. There was a nice story. There was one student, because the room where the support center is located is just a modest room, nothing special. And during January, it was quite cold in Czech Republic. And the room was not heated perfectly. It was not too comfortable there to stay for longer time. So there was one student who repeatedly came with his own electric, small, transferable heater to feel comfortable there. So I use it as an example to our officials to help to have better heating there. So it is a nice example that some students really wanted to come repeatedly and to spend time there. There is another figure here. We run our support center at the Faculty of Economics and Administration. But Maastricht University has many other faculties. So we deliberately wish to help to students of our faculty. But we are open to others. So those who know about our center are cordially welcome. And here are a few figures showing that this is our faculty, Faculty of Economics and Administration, so majority of visits come from our faculty. But this is a Faculty of Social Science, and other faculties visited our center as well. So it's just maybe the word of mouth which spread the idea to other faculties, because we launched it especially at our faculty. Maastricht University, this abbreviation stands for our university, and there are also a few visits from other universities in Brno. Somehow the students from other universities know about us, so when they come, we are willing to help them as well. So, and this is for the next semester, similar numbers. The numbers of students from other faculties is small. Maybe I have theory why it is so. Because last semester, I mean summer semester, when usually in Czech Republic the diploma theses and bachelor theses or doctoral theses are handed during the spring semester. And these are figures of spring semester, and the majority of visits from other faculties was not because of asking for help with elementary math, but they asked for help with the diploma thesis, which is related to statistics. So almost 30% of the visits in support center was due to bachelor or master thesis, or sometimes dissertations. So this is maybe the second focus of our center, to help with statistics, especially statistics implemented in, let's say, bachelor or final thesis of our students, because we are living in the period of big data, and I think when there are, let's say, from social sciences or sometimes from medicine, medical and life sciences, some final thesis, the students are expected that they have let's say, the results are data-driven, but their teachers who are not qualified in statistics can't help them. So for this reason, some students attend our support center just to get some incentives and helps how to process their data related to their area of expertise. So then there we have few figures related to our web pages. They are not so impressive, but I call it like focus on software rather than hardware. And my software in this project are people. So I am more interested to involve nice tutors, qualified tutors, rather than investing much time to hardware, which is in this case web pages. But on the other hand, we have also Facebook, which is run by our volunteers, and this Facebook is spreading out, and we have now almost 500 likes. So I know that those who are really fans of networking through Facebook, this is not an impressive number, but I am proud of it. Except this, let's say, everyday operation, we also organized a few events for students, launching events, opening events at the beginning of each semester. Then we had few small events like quantified nature, which is a way how to attract students with mathematics in applied in area which is not looking like pure science, something like it's more fun. But to be honest, these activities or these events are not so appreciated by students as the everyday operation of the support center itself, which is maybe okay. And now I would like to introduce our team, not all the people involved, just I would like to point out that except my colleagues from the department, there are working also volunteers representing senior students, and this is something what I really like and admire, that many of our senior students are willing to help us, and I was surprised how easy it was to attract them to help us and how they spread the idea among their colleagues. So this semester, which started a few weeks ago, the third semester of our operation, we have many new volunteers which came on their own without my incentives or some special activity to attract them to become volunteers. So this is something like you just like a snowball. You just start with good idea, and then the people come and they are attracted by that. So I'm really impressed by that. And at this picture, except me, the three other guys, there are our volunteers. And another benefit of this volunteering is not only that we enlarge the number of tutors in our center, but some students are, let's say, they feel free with their peers, in effect. So they don't, they are not afraid to ask questions which maybe they consider like too easy. Of course, we have some rules for our tutors, and among those rules is one rule which I stress out always. No question is stupid. The students entering our support center should feel free to ask anything. Because, you know, when they see teacher, they sometimes feel a block to ask. But when they see their peers, they are willing to ask also questions which would be considered maybe not like an advanced question. As the moderator said a few minutes ago, he said that education system is working against the direction the kids have. Kids are very curious and they ask questions, and our education system is developed in that way that it blocks or restricts the willing to ask, to be curious. So the support center is going against this not positive trend we observe in our education system in Europe. And we, at the end of the first semester, we asked students for the feedback. To be honest, I was lazy to translate it into English, so I just copied it. So I can explain it in English in simple terms. All of them are positive. I didn't select only positive, and I'm not pretending that the positive feedbacks is. Yeah, there really were answers of many students, and they appreciated that we started running support center, and they appreciate maybe the fact that teachers are interested in them, because we have many students at our university, and in this message the individual contact is not developed as we would wish. The teachers sometimes don't know the students, and in support center you have individual relationships, so maybe they appreciate also the fact that someone cares about them and how they feel, and help them in individual ways. So all these feedback answers are really very positive, and in the graph on the right side you see which questions were in this questionnaire evaluated most, and what the students in this feedback evaluated most was that tutors had friendly and non-critical, non-judgmental approach. And I am happy of this result of our small survey. And now I would like to show you other 3 universities in Czech Republic which we infected by our idea, and I think it's marvelous that within let's say 2 semesters we spread the idea to other universities. One of them is Technical University of Ostrava, another one is in Zlín, another city in Czech Republic, and now in April we expect launching of 3rd support center at Brno Technical University. So it's nice that it's less than 2 years ago I met with this idea in University of Agder at one presentation. It was just by chance, and within 1 week we opened such a support center in Czech Republic, and the next year we have other 3 support centers. So, and it wouldn't be without EEA grants. So it's a really nice example how good ideas can be easily spread around Europe. And of course for future we have solid background to develop this collaboration with other universities, other countries, and I'm really happy for this opportunity to travel around Europe and to get inspiration and to transfer the knowledge and inspiration. So it's marvelous, and this is of course a moment when I can express my hopes either to EEA grants but also to our national agency which supported us and helped us to process all the stuff related to administration of the project. So thank you very much, Barbara and other guys from national agency in Czech Republic. And there are some outlooks what we could improve. I especially would like to change this mindset, I'm bad at maths. I really believe that majority of our students, they are clever students, but they don't trust themselves. So this is maybe from my perspective the principal point which should be changed. Their ability to develop mathematics should be strengthened by belief that they can do it. So this is one of our goals in Support Center, to give them self-confidence, let's say. And there are a few other things we may improve. Of course, our website can be improved, so there is space for improvement. But as I said, especially I focus on our tutors to make good, nice environment, and I invest especially in this, let's say, software of the project. Then there are some expected money we would like to get from some grant, because so far we are working, let's say, just like enthusiastic people, not only volunteers but also my colleagues from the department. We are now, when our grant from Norway ended up, we are just doing it like volunteers. So I'm looking for another grant to support us, but still we are so enthusiastic that we will run it also without any grant. And here are sources from which I took some data and figures. So thank you very much for your attention. I am pleased that I could introduce the idea of support centers here, and I am free to answer your questions if you have any. Otherwise, I will ask you to end up my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.